Yunji Choi walked into the K1 Genki 2026 press conference with the Max FC women's bantamweight title around her waist and 19 professional fights behind her name. She looked across at Mona Kimura, twin buns, 24 years old, 3 professional kickboxing fights on her record, and saw a viral export about to be exposed. The Korean champion had the belt. She had the power. She had the experience advantage by a factor of 6. What she did not have was an answer for the right leg that was about to come up in the opening seconds of round 1 and refused to come down for the next 9 minutes. Mona Kimura did not arrive at K1 Genki 2026 by accident. She started karate at 4 years old and won 7 consecutive JKJO All Japan Junior Karate Championships before she was out of grade school. She picked up boxing in 4th grade, won the JBC Junior Featherweight Championship in 2019, and represented Japan at the 2022 IBA Women's World Boxing Championships in Istanbul. She lost her opening bout there in the round of 32 to Italy's Irma Testa. She entered the 2022 All-Japan Women's Tournament that year and failed to win a match. 2 consecutive losses on the biggest stages of her amateur boxing career. In April 2024, Kimura walked away from boxing entirely, joined K1 Gym Meguro Team Tiger, and started training kickboxing from scratch. 7 months later, she was a professional. The signature side kick, the technique fans would soon call the Mona kick, came up in Fight 1, Fight 2, and Fight 3. By the time K1 set her up against Choi, she was 3-0 in crush with 2 stoppages inside 2.5 minutes. A viral following that had pulled in shares from names like 50 Cent, and one question hanging over her entire career. Could the side kick work against a real champion? Choi was the answer K1 wanted. Fight 1, I Ogiwara, Crush.167, November 16th, 2024. Professional debut, Crush promotion, 1st round. Ogiwara came forward looking to test the newcomer's composure with boxing combinations and pressure. Kimura answered in the only way she knows how. From her southpaw stance, she controlled the distance immediately. Side kicks snapping out like a metronome, disrupting Ogiwara's rhythm and keeping her at the end of her range. Every time Ogiwara pressed forward, she walked into something sharp. Then came the finish. The side kick froze Ogiwara's forward step. The left straight followed straight down the middle and dropped her. The referee waved it off at 1:32 of round 1. KO done. A debut that lasted less time than it takes to read this paragraph, and announced Mona Kimura to the kickboxing world in the most emphatic way possible. But a debut finish proves nothing on its own. The real tests were still coming. Fight 2, Yuka Star, Crush.170, January 26, 2025, Tokyo. 2 months after her debut, Kimura stepped up against Yuka, a more experienced opponent who came in with the ring craft and durability to make a young fighter uncomfortable across 3 full rounds. This was the fight where the doubters expected the real-life Chun-Li to be exposed. 3 full rounds against someone who had been around long enough to know how to survive dangerous situations. Kimura spent 3 rounds doing exactly what she does. Side kicks controlling distance, left straights snapping Yuka's head back. Combinations flowing from head to body with the kind of rhythm that takes years to develop. Yuka showed genuine heart. She kept coming. She landed shots of her own. But she had no answer for the timing, no answer for the distance management, no answer for a fighter who looked completely unbothered while her opponent was working at maximum effort just to stay in the fight. Unanimous decision, 3 rounds, dominant. The kickboxing world started paying very close attention. Fight 3, Satoko Ozawa, Crush.177, June 27, 2025, Korakuen Hall, Tokyo. This was the fight that made the internet lose its mind. Satoko Ozawa stepped into the legendary Korakuen Hall with a reputation for toughness and relentless forward pressure. She was experienced, she was physical, and she had every intention of walking through whatever Kimura threw at her. Kimura made her pay for every single step forward. From the opening seconds, the side kicks were relentless, snapping into Ozawa's body and head, keeping her at range, making her look slow in the process. Every time Ozawa tried to close the gap, she walked into something sharp. Inside the first minute of round 1, Kimura's straight left had already drawn blood. The crowd started to buzz. Ozawa kept coming. She didn't back down. But determination without answers is just a slow way to lose. And Kimura had answers for everything Ozawa brought. By the end of round 1, Ozawa's face told the whole story. The cuts were bleeding, the pressure was mounting, and Kimura hadn't even broken a sweat. Round 2 started with the writing already on the wall. Kimura picked up exactly where she left off. Crisp left straights, dynamic side kicks. The forehead damage worsened. The referee called for a doctor's check. The doctor had seen enough. TKO, doctor stoppage. 1 minute and 8 seconds of round 2. The highlight reel went viral overnight. Kimura was no longer just a Japanese kickboxing story. She was a global one. But the biggest test of her career was still ahead, and it came wearing a championship belt. Fight 4, Yunji Choi, K1 Genki 2026, April 11th, 2026, Yoyogi 2nd Gymnasium, Tokyo. Yunji Choi was not a regional fighter or a mid-level prospect manufactured to make Kimura look good. She was the reigning Max FC Women's Bantamweight champion, a South Korean veteran with 19 professional bouts and a reputation built on physical power, relentless forward pressure, and championship-level experience. This was the fight where the doubters expected Kimura to finally be exposed. Too inexperienced, too young, too untested against someone with real championship credentials. Kimura's pre-fight read on the matchup was simple. Choi would struggle to find her range. When the bell rang at Yoyogi 2nd Gymnasium in Tokyo, Choi came forward exactly as expected. Physical, aggressive, looping hooks and pressure to try to impose herself on the fight. Her forward pressure was real. Her power was real. Her credentials were real. But Kimura had an answer for all of it. The side kick came up in the opening seconds of round 1 and barely came down for 9 minutes. Choi could not close the distance cleanly. Every time she committed forward, the left straight came back down the middle. Early in round 1, Kimura cracked a straight left through the middle and followed it with a head-height side kick that snapped Choi's head back and sent her tumbling to the canvas. K1 analyst Masato felt it could have been ruled a knockdown. Rounds 2 and 3 followed the same pattern. Side kick to keep distance. Left straight to punish the closing attempt. Reset and repeat. By round 3, Choi's nose was bleeding and her output had collapsed. 3 rounds, 3 judges. All 3 scored at 30-27. Unanimous decision. Mona Kimura, undefeated, unbothered, unstoppable. 4 fights, 4 wins, 2 stoppages, 2 dominant decisions, and a global following that no other fighter in women's kickboxing has built this quickly. Mona Kimura is 4-0 with a finishing rate, a technical foundation, and a composure under pressure that most fighters spend a decade trying to develop. She has beaten aggressive pressure fighters, experienced veterans, and championship-level opponents, and she has done it all before her 25th birthday. The question for the K1 flyweight division is no longer whether she belongs at the top. The question is who is brave enough to step up next. But whoever it is, they had better come with more than a championship belt and confidence. Because confidence, as Yunji Choi just found out, is not enough. Drop a comment. Do you think Mona Kimura is destined to become a K1 world champion? Let us know below. Hit like and subscribe for more breakdowns like this one. See you in the next fight.